very good morning to you. Watching the Channel M Breakfast Show on Monday, the 19th of January. Every 30 minutes, we'll have the latest traffic, travel news and weather for you.
And today is Blue Monday, officially the most miserable day of the year. But we, in sort of a Manchester music way, don't look at it as a Blue Monday, which New Order sang, but more a Happy Monday.
Aha, I like what you
We're
did there,
twisting
Phil.
your melons, man. What do you think they meant by that?
I think it's a reference to your head. It's going to, do your head in, I suppose. But, you know, twisting your melons, I think that's guaranteed to raise a smile, isn't it, this morning on a Blue Monday? I wouldn't mind having my melons twisted.
Oh,
what
really?
about you?
Well...
all a bit carry on this morning, but we're going out of our way to cheer you up, even if it is laughing at us.
Rather than with us. In a few minutes, the latest sports headlines, plus we go in search of the perfect fake tan. But first, here's this morning's news headlines.
Paramedics took over 40 minutes to reach a toddler who had a screw stuck in her throat. Ria Ahmed, who's 3 and from Newton Heath, was gasping for breath when her parents phoned 999. She was eventually taken to hospital by a relative and is now recovering at home. A North West Ambulance Service spokesman said they aim to respond to calls in the shortest possible time. Ricky Hatton has dealt his new neighbours a crushing blow when gale force winds battered Greater Manchester. Gusts of up to 70 miles per hour ripped 30-foot-high scaffolding poles from the side of his new gym in Hyde and smashed into cars nearby.
There's a big hole through the window, the sides all smashed in, and basically, luckily, mine was one of the lucky ones. The cars at the end of the street, nearer to the main road, got most of the damage. It was like a bomb site. The full length of the building on the gable side had come completely down, covering all the street. We think, luckily, the vehicles stopped the scaffolding hitting the property. When I heard the crash last night, I thought it was just a local bang. Outside the pub, one of the manholes is down, and when the traffic go over it, it makes the similar noise. My wife looked out the window and said, "No, the scaffolding's gone over, Steve." So I got up, looked over, and we could see all this corner here behind me was all hanging out into the street. So I then got dressed, came over, and I could see the damage it's done to all the vehicles, including my bus.
And the high winds also led to a tree falling onto a house in Gorton yesterday. Luckily, the house on Westbourne Range is unoccupied, so nobody was hurt. The tree's now been removed. Armed raiders drove a car through a pub window during a robbery in Heme over the weekend. It happened on Friday night at the Banyan Tree Bar on Elmsmere Street. The robbers were initially trapped inside the bar when the shutters came down, but they then escaped when other members of the gang smashed a car through the window. Demonstrators against the war in Gaza gathered in central Manchester yesterday. As part of their protest, they laid out pairs of shoes on the town hall steps in remembrance of those who've been killed during the conflict.
There we are. 3 of those.
No more! War crimes no more! Genocide no more!
Yesterday they announced there was going to be a ceasefire. A ceasefire that was discussed and agreed between the Egyptians and the Israeli people.
2 people have had to be cut from the wreckage of a car following an accident in Bolton early this morning. The car had been travelling along Blackburn Road just after midnight when it hit a wall and overturned. 2 people managed to escape, but 2 more had to be rescued by emergency services. All 4 were taken to hospital, and police are investigating what happened. People in Oldham are being hounded into keeping their community tidy. They've been getting lessons in sprucing up their streets from a dog. The animal's got a unique talent for gathering up the mounds of rubbish that get left in the area, as the ever-messy Michael Billingtons have been finding out.
It's easy to see why they call them man's best friend, but Tango the dog likes to go the extra mile to make himself even more popular.
Tango is a superstar at litter picking, and he's been doing it now for at least 4 years. If everybody was as careful about litter as Tango is, the place would be a lot tidier.
He's dead cute. I've not played with him, but I've seen him do things, and it's really, really good what he does. It's well trained as well.
Yeah, he's a really fantastic example. If only everybody else could follow Tango's lead and get out litter picking in their areas.
The serious point, though, when faced with scenes like this, is people in communities need to take more responsibility for cleaning their area. And so here's what people in this part of Oldham have been doing.
The 20 Ward Challenge is a partnership project between Groundwork and Oldham Council. We're visiting each ward of Oldham each week to do a community clean-up, so we're involving all the local residents to come out and clean up their areas.
if everybody went outside their property and just picked up the rubbish outside their property, suddenly the whole area is clear. And if you think about it, you'll see lots of people, well, they're walking around, and if they see rubbish on the floor, they'll drop rubbish. If it's clean, the vast majority of people will think twice and they'll look for a bin to put it in. So, you know, Tango's doing a great job. Let everybody else start doing it as well. It'll be fantastic.
But the sad reality is, no dog can pick up all that. Michael Billington, Channel M News.
Well, that's it from me for now, but over to Will and Phil for the latest sports news.
OK, time for the morning's sports news with Will. And obviously, with it being the January being the month that the window is open, plenty of speculation around at the moment. But we'll come to that in a moment, because if you're anything like me, Will, you'll have spent yesterday watching the football.
Yeah, indeed. Interesting yesterday. I mean, Tottenham drew 1-1 with Portsmouth. Obviously, it was all the talk about Harry Redknapp facing his old team and Tony Adams meeting up with him on the touchline. But I think bookmakers stopped taking bets on Jermaine Defoe scoring, which was, you know, predictable. It was in the script, wasn't it? You could see it happening, and obviously he did in the second half. But more interestingly, West Ham yesterday, they beat Fulham 3-1. Craig Bellamy wasn't there. He wasn't even on the bench, which has fueled speculation across all the papers this morning. He's set, according to the Mirror, to complete a £12 million move to City this afternoon. That's after a gentleman's agreement. Wilson Palacios, the Wigan midfielder, Mark Hughes, apparently was ready to bid £14 million for him. And he's now allowing him to go to Tottenham and won't bid any further as long as Craig Bellamy can come to City. So look out for that one this afternoon. That should be going ahead. And also, Nigel de Jong, the Dutch midfielder, 24-year-old. I think he's had a 60-odd caps in the Bundesliga for Hamburg. So he's played for Holland a few times, so looking to sign him, and that should go through over the next couple of days as well. City, obviously, you mentioned January. The papers, I think the sports pages are about 8 pages longer than they normally are. We'll have a look at the Times here. You can see at the bottom of the Times there, Kaká deal, it's now or never. Mark Hughes is saying that if we don't get him now in January, then, you know, someone's going to hijack it in the summer.
What's your hunch, Will? Do you think he'll come or not?
I think he will, to be honest. I think he will. If you look at the back of the Express, they're reporting as well here, £130 million. £130 million, but Kaká may say no to City. It's not about the money, you know. They're saying that the delegation team's going out to Italy now to speak to them. They've got Simon Pearce, who's a representative of Sheikh Mansour, with Gary Cook, the executive chairman, and they're going out there. It won't be about the money, even though they're offering £500,000 a week annually, £20 million gross. Just an unbelievable figure.
I don't think that he'll be having a Blue Monday, will he?
He won't be having a Blue Monday. I think you know, they've got a good 10 days to broker it. Chris Bailey, of course, in the Manchester Evening News, who's always spot on with what he comes up with. He says here, Dad's the word. Kaká's father will be key figure in talks, and his father, Bosco Leite, is his agent as well, and he's meeting with Adriano Galani in Italy today. But they've already gone out there once, of course. They're going out again to try and secure it. Also on the Manchester Evening News, United set to gazump Madrid for Wigan ace. So Antonio Valencia, who of course joined Wigan on loan, and then they signed him for an undisclosed fee. They're set to pay £20 million for him. We mentioned that earlier on in the morning, and that'll be interesting if that goes through. Of course, Steve Bruce wants to keep on hold of, you know, Zaki, Heskey, Valencia, Palacios, but people are coming in all over. So I imagine he wants January to be over and done with. Also, to tell you a little bit about Sale, there's headlines in the papers saying, you know, all over for Sale, Heineken Cup. Also, why have we got the Scarlet's ball here? I've just noticed that. Kingsley Jones wouldn't be happy with that. We'll have to speak to the prop manager about that one.
Get some
but
details.
yeah, everyone's saying, you know, Sale's Heineken Cup's over. They've got a lot to do for the rest of the season. Andy Murray, he's in action this evening. It's midnight. He gets underway against Andrei Pavel, the Romanian. So Australian Open, of course, first round. And Ronnie O'Sullivan, a 4th Masters title. We mentioned it earlier. He is just phenomenal, a phenomenal force, the Rocket. Is he going to retire? Is he not? He's got another trophy in his belt. But it's all about Kaká, all the papers, and Bellamy, and hopefully De Jong maybe signing Monday, Tuesday.
OK. You mentioned about Andy Murray there, and you mentioned earlier, Will, he's in most of the papers today, shirtless, with a very fine physique. Yeah, prepare yourself for another one.
Really?
Yeah, well, apparently...
Not you.
I'd look away now if I were you, actually, if I'm entirely honest. Because another reason that we're all depressed on Blue Monday is the lack of sunshine to give your skin that sun-kissed and healthy glow. Well, if it's a bronze body that you're after, well, this is the way to go about it. Here is our advice to get a fake tan. Michelle?
What?
I've got a confession. This is my very first time.
Oh, Phil, don't worry. You'll be fine.
Do you think so?
I've done it loads of times.
Have you? Really?
Yeah. Wasn't very pleasant the first time.
Oh.
Once you've done it once, you'll want to do it again and again and again.
Really? Let's just give me a few top tips.
Well, first of all, relax. Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And think of channeling. Oh. Cheers.
Chink, chink.
Right, Phil, have you done all that I said?
I think so. Just remind me again.
Have you took your makeup off?
Makeup's been taken off. Took a while, but it's all off.
Have you moisturised your hard bits?
My hard bits are well and truly moisturised.
Have you got your boxer shorts on?
Boxer shorts? I've gone commando.
Don't worry, there's a pair in there. Go on.
I'm going in.
Good luck. Take one for the team. So, how was it for you?
It was fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
Really?
Oh, yeah, for a first time, it was exhilarating, it was exciting. I can see why you're addicted.
Go on then, show us your white bits.
Go on then, just for you. You ready?
Very Cristiano Ronaldo.
Do you think? Well, come on, fair's fair. Let's have a look at your white bits.
Not for you, just for Phil.
Ooh. Can I just say that was recorded a few months ago, and since then I have slimmed down. I now have a very impressive six-pack, and my bulges, wow.
Six-pack of beer, Phil True. Who knew you were hiding that under there? My.
I don't think so much hiding.
Did you enjoy it, though, the whole experience?
It was different. I mean, I think if I was going to an event where, you know, you like to look your best and you want a bit of a glow, I think I might have one again, but I wouldn't do what I did there, which was I went out at night, and until you've washed off the sort of, like, the surface, you look a bit mahogany. You look a bit like Cuprinol Man.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think my advice would be, if you're going to an event, have it a day or two beforehand, and then go out and get yourself your fake tan.
How did you find the whole paper knicker experience?
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but I actually did keep my own undies on there because I just thought the paper ticket... I was just a little bit worried, actually, that they may go all soggy and fall off.
Disintegrate.
Yeah,
Ooh,
which wouldn't have been a good sight for anyone. In fact, poor old Bob, the cameraman, he's still recovering from that alarming film.
Should we move on? It's a breakfast show after all. We're going to get ourselves in trouble, aren't we?
Yeah.
Make sure you're watching tomorrow's breakfast show for your business news and health news, of course, with it being Tuesday. We find out how the power of herbs can relieve menopausal symptoms, and we'll be relaxing with a little bit of yoga for you.
Coming up next, though, after the break, Frank Sidebottom causes manic and mayhem to brighten up your Blue Monday. That's on the way.